Last week, I talked to an $80 million producer, and I wanted to share the conversation with you. I posted it up on Lab Code Agents, just breaking it down, and it got a great response. So I wanted to expand on it in a podcast version of this. And he's somebody that I coach, runs a great team, has some challenges, obviously, we all do. And I wanted to focus on the four things that we talked about that I think can help you out, because we all, as we're growing, whether it's individual as an agent or a team, we all seem to come across some of these. And so here's number one. Number one was leads on autopilot. So he's got a team, the leads are coming through. He does Google pay per click. He does some meta ads, so Facebook and Instagram, and he also does Zillow. And the challenge, he's got too many leads coming through, and they're slipping through the cracks because some of his agents aren't calling them in time, and they're building up over 2, 3, 4 months. So my solution, and I've got this document if you need this, my solution, because I take notes when I'm coaching people, so that's the reason I've got it. Solution: his agents are not doing that well with follow-up. That's what we noticed. I went into Follow-Up Boss, took a look at all the notes and actions. There was a lot missing. They say they call, but they actually aren't calling. I'm like, wow. Common, by the way. If you don't have a team and you're like, man, that's stupid. By the way, common. My team, same challenge sometimes. So I recommended 2 things. Number one, take a look at a company called Shilo AI. I said they track all the calls, and they also help your agents get better at having conversations, because they're not only tracking, they're recording the calls, and they're grading the calls with AI for that real estate agent. And they're saying, hey, you could have done better here or not. And the agents, knowing that these calls are recorded, they actually show up better. Right? That's one. Number 2 is hiring a local ISA. Right now, I have 5 ISAs outside of the United States, and one that's local. He's actually about 20 minutes from my house. And I've always thought, hiring local first to get it all down, this process, to get the conversations going, to just work in tandem with your ISA that's local, is probably the most important piece to making sure that the leads are nurtured correctly, that you don't have any cracks. I mean, at this point, my head ISA, my lead coordinator, I call him, he's on point and does a great job. He could train others really well, and he knows the CRMs very well, right? So I rely on him a lot. And so my recommendation to him is saying, you need somebody local, get a lead coordinator. They're going to help with all of the leaky faucet the big leaky faucet you've got, the no follow-up, all this process. They're going to help a lot with it. That was number 1. Number 2, he said, well, I'm having a challenge because I want to be listing first focused. And the challenge, here's what I put, his challenge was prioritizing listings while still juggling buyer leads. They get a lot of buyer leads. And because nobody's following up with them, they build up. And then this real estate agent feels like he needs to follow up and kind of step in. And I know the feeling. I've done it. In fact, I still dial, right? You guys watch some of the calls I make live, right? So it's not easy. It takes a long time. So what I said is, hey, look, your listings are coming in, and they're coming in from the 10,000 plus mailers that you send out, which are great. And you also need a process on that point. So I said, you're handling buyers, and I suggest that you delegate handling those buyers to your top agents, because you're handling the buyers because they're ready to go. And you're like, but I can't handle both. I'm like, yeah, but you want to focus on listings because you as a team leader can focus on more listings in general, because they require less work than consistently showing property, consistently going out there, being with the buyers that are ready now, because they seem to be more on demand, versus having a multiple amount of listings, going that route, which you do very well. And you only need, your current assistant to help you out with that. So I suggest that you delegate. And now I'm talking to you. You are at some point in your real estate business, wherever you're at, you got to think of delegating. Are you delegating enough if you're in a position to delegate? If you're not in a position to delegate, well, go back to yesterday's podcast and think, what is that one thing that I should be focused on with the hedgehog concept that allows me to just do such an amazing job on that one thing that it allows me to grow so then I can make some money, more money, and hire my first admin or second or wherever you want, because eventually you're going to need to delegate. And I mean, this is exactly what I do. I've gotten so much better at delegating, and I was terrible at it. This is why I can tell you that's a big key. Anyway, that's good. Now I have virtual assistants and conversion system. The challenge for him was handling growing volume of tasks and leads without burning out. That is like the number one thing for all of us, right? It's like, hey, I can't handle this much. I'm going to burn out. I need a life, Tristan. I need to also be with my family or time with myself just so that I could think and reflect and grow and work on my business. I can't be out there all the time. I feel like I'm running around with my head chopped off. So my solution, as soon as you can, outsource day-to-day tasks, paperwork, scheduling, database management to a virtual assistant and to a local ISA for him at his position. For you, where are you at? Do you even have a transaction coordinator? And if you do, I would see if they could handle a little bit more, maybe a lot more, and maybe you give them a little bit more at the closing. The point is to get as much off of your table that isn't what you are amazing at. For me, I can tell you the one thing that grew everything that I've built over the years was online lead conversion and me converting and calling them. So what do you think I focused more on and more on and more? Online leads and calling them and converting them, right? That's what I became absolutely amazing at. And so everything else was supporting that. I wouldn't even go. That's why I built a team. I can't go show property. I suck at it. That's why I built a team, because I can't go and take listings. I have a very low patience and tolerance to talk to people for a very long period of time. And they have a lot of questions. And I was failing at that. So I hired a team. I made a team to handle all of these pieces that allowed me to continue to focus on what? Online lead conversion, talking to people online, and then quarterbacking them to the right people, right? But I don't know what yours is. Find your strength. Team growth. There, I said it. Life balance at the end with team growth. The challenge becomes here with this agent, a challenge for all of us eventually, managing and motivating a team of agents while scaling up. And if it's not a team, it's you. Managing your time, your expectations of yourself, expectations of your team, being graceful with you and your team. And here's where, for me, and for this agent, I said the solution: set clear performance goals. What are they? And I still have a challenge with this, but I said set those performance goals. And don't set them for them. Go to them, right? And say, hey, what are your goals, right? Because I want to help you get there. So I'm going to hold you accountable to your own goals. What are they, right? And let me train you to get there, right? Set that right training. And now for you, what are your goals? What are your goals? Write them down. Say, how am I going to keep myself accountable? And for you, it could be as easy as, and if you're watching on YouTube, right? As easy as getting a little notebook, having it right next to you, writing down your goals, or getting a little index card like I have here on YouTube. My little index card says on it, it says something simple, just to remind me. It says, I believe, right? I believe. But you can have it say your goals, your priorities for the week, for the day, keeping you accountable, whatever it is for you. The point is, you got to keep going. You got to keep training yourself. And if it's a team, hey, how are you leveling them up? What exposure are you giving them to other greatness? It's a big commitment to run a team and to level up. And so I reminded this amazing agent of the same thing, and then reminded him at the end, hey, I know there's no such thing as balance, right? Because we're all doing our own thing at the time that we need to. Sometimes you need to go full press. Sometimes you need to slow down and rest. But overall, in the longer picture, like in a month, you should be taking some time off. You should be pressing on this end. In a month, it should look like, wow, a lot more balanced, right? That's what it looks like. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. If you need coaching, go to brillianttribe.com. We've got you. Have an awesome day.